Thanks very much. Yes, I'm glad I'm not the only person that's brought up AI as a topic. Sometimes it feels like that's the only thing that we hear about. Wherever we go to, it's spoken about everywhere, and it becomes a real big buzzword. But there's also a reason for that. It's actually become really important for how we think about AI and technology moving forward. And if we look at the travel industry, we've always taken leaps forward, embracing different advanced technologies to improve travel experiences and improve our businesses, and we've done that a lot. One of the most recent changes, a few years ago, was the introduction of the mobile phone. And if we have to just think about how much the mobile phone changed how we look at travel, it had a massive impact. Small things around how we would think about how travelers would actually research travel, how they would look for options, how they would book hotels or flights, and the mobile phone forced us to really change and look at our travel industry from the lens of a traveler. And if we look at it now, it made a big impact on travel, improving the travel experiences, improving our businesses, and it changed travel as we know it today. When I look at AI, I see it's going to have a very similar impact, probably a bigger impact on travel in the world than what the mobile phone did. And we'll get the clicker working. There we go. 7 years ago, Andrew Negg, who's an artificial intelligence expert, compared AI to electricity. Much like the world changed forever with electricity, changing transportation, manufacturing, and exactly how the world operated. Today, when we look at AI, it's going to be pretty much everywhere, and actually will have probably a bigger impact than what electricity had to the world back then when we think about AI, which can be very fearful, but can be extremely exciting to think about what does that have for travel in the future. And when it is involved in everywhere, the key thing is, how does it continue to improve the travel experiences, improve our opportunity to create incredible memories for our travelers and where they're looking to go. So today I wanted to cover just 3 different areas. How did we actually get to where we are today? What are we developing for tomorrow? But also, what does the future look like when you're thinking about AI? So the journey to today didn't just happen. So you might hear AI used in every single conversation or every conference or every other topic you come across, but AI has actually been around for many years. It started a number of years ago when you think about companies leveraging their big data, or how did they analyze the data of their business to become a lot more efficient, a lot more effective, and how do we use our data to be a better company and provide greater experiences. With that data, then we started to look at different options within AI to improve the efficiencies and the experiences within our own business. And I'll give an example within Expedia. We leverage a lot of data globally. We have over 70 petabytes of data. And if you don't know what petabytes are, if I put a comparison, it's 112 million movies being streamed at the exact same time. It's a lot of data. But it's very insightful. And it allows you to make decisions on how you provide better travel experiences for our travelers and our partners in the industry. We've been using AI for many years, and on average, in a year, we use over 800 billion AI predictions. Again, if you think about just leveraging data and improving your current business, the travel industry has been doing that today already. It's not about what is the next tool, but it's about how we're using our data and insights to improve our business efficiencies. If we look at the traveler journey, travel is very complex, and it starts at the inspiration phase. Thinking about where am I going to go, where's my next holiday, right the way through to research, planning, booking, and post-booking. There are multiple touch points for a traveler through that entire journey we have to think about within the industry. And today, we have been leveraging AI to really improve our own businesses, our own efficiencies, just to provide a much better traveler experience. And you might find it's not at every single touch point, but every business is leveraging a certain component to improve their travel experience. And I'll give you a couple of examples. We all know when it comes to planning, it's pretty complex. It's not always easy. And so we found a lot of enhancements around the trip planning functionalities. And I'll give you some examples. We've seen much better improvements on providing personalized recommendations on properties or flights or flight connections or travel routes within your searches today. It originally started with selecting a filter. I'm coming with a family. I want a 2-bedroom house. I'm going to this location. We found that those recommendations have continued to improve. So trip planning has been a key area of how do you provide better content and options to travelers. Another key area is price tracking. I think if everybody here is looking to book a long-haul flight, you're trying to always keep track. When's the best time to book? Is it sooner? Is it later? Is it this connection? We often are so fixated on finding the best flight deal or the best option. So price tracking has become a key component of how do we use data and insight to provide the right recommendations to travelers on when to book. Another area we've seen big improvements is really around smart shopping. Now, what does smart shopping actually mean? If you try and think about years ago, it's how we showed pricing on products. So if you look at hotels, you've got room types, you've got rate plans. Does it include breakfast? Doesn't? Is it free cancellations? There's so many options that go into pricing. The same as airlines. Does it include baggage? Do I need to add it? What's the cancellation policy? So smart shopping is really more of an attribute-based shopping, showing pricing options for travelers that allows you to make much better decisions. If you remember it a few years ago, it was completely different to what you're seeing today. And probably the most common friction point within the traveler journey is the virtual agent, customer service. I think everybody's probably focused as much time there when it came to chatbots or virtual agents. If you think of where it started, it was just basic content. Can I cancel my booking? Can I get a refund? When is the check-in time? Very basic information. That has enhanced dramatically and continues to improve and get better. So there's more functionality that comes through because a traveler just wants quick service and wants to have some kind of self-service capability. Now, we've seen this improve the traveler journey right the way through, but we've seen this come through in many other areas within travel. As an example, we heard it yesterday, right in social. So you see AI is being incorporated into marketing, advertising, connectivity, and various other touch points within travel, not just within our travel experience. Now, if we looked at today, that was really just around data, improving our own business efficiencies, and improving our overall travel experience within our own business. Last year at Expedia, we started to test generative AI. And for the first time within our app, we launched a conversational trip planning tool that was powered by ChatGPT. This allowed us for the first time to actually see how would travelers interact through conversation, observing how would they actually start to search and plan where they wanted to go. Simple term, where should I go? Where should I stay? What options are there? What can I do in that location? What options do you have? It was extremely insightful to just see how our travelers engaging through conversation through a new tool, and we had no idea how it would work. And that leads me into basically what are we developing for tomorrow, but through generative AI. So today was around existing data and how do we improve efficiencies. For tomorrow, it's how we are leveraging generative AI tools. And travel still continues to be the most talked about use case and segment when it comes to generative AI. And through the test that we did with ChatGPT, we continue to see that it solved for a common pain point in all of travel, which is around discovery and planning. And so if you look at that travel journey, we spoke about the inspiration phase and the planning phase. Through our path to purchase survey, we found that on average, travelers are spending more than 1 month just thinking about travel. And I'm pretty sure you can put yourselves in that situation. You finish a holiday, you already start thinking, all right, where am I going to go next? Where should we do? What am I going to do during the school holidays? What's the next item to tick off? 30 days on average is the next travel that you're just thinking about. Once you've got that destination or location or country you're going to, it's more than a month you spend just on planning before you actually make a booking. That's a very long cycle of consuming a lot of content before you actually make a booking. I'll leave a number up on here, 141. That is the average number of pages a traveler will consume in content before they make a booking. Now, personally, I've got a trip planned in July. I'm taking my family for the first time to Europe. I'm definitely way more than 141 pages, by far. Now, if you think about your planning and thinking phase, you're using social media, you're using Google, you're using websites, you're using every source of content you can. I've heard people that are listening to podcasts, they're on social groups, just getting recommendations what to do. We are absorbing a ton of content every single day just to try and identify what am I going to do when I make that booking? Where is it going to be? But today, we are spending all that time absorbing content through multiple channels. And it is time-consuming, Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's frustrating, and you just don't know what it is. It creates a lot of anxiety. And through the survey we did at Expedia, which was, we released our Unpacked 24 Trends, a survey across more than 20,000 travelers in 14 countries, including Australia. And in that survey that we got from our travelers, one of the key trends that came out is what we're calling the generation of generative AI. When we look at 2023, the use of ChatGPT when it was launched, only 15% of Aussies were actually using ChatGPT through their travel planning and their trip. So pretty small, 15%. When we did our survey, and while we've come up with the next generation of Gen AI, more than 40% of travelers said they will use a Gen AI tool to plan their next trip. That's in less than a year. So they went from 15% using it to now more than 40% are willing to use it through their trip. More than 40% of it said they would use it to help find a property and accommodation for it. 1 in 3 people said that they would use it to compare flights. And 30% of it would use to find activities. I can tell you now, I've used it to try and find activities for our trip in Europe because it is not easy to just Google and you always see the same sort of things come up. But I want to know, what am I going to do with a family, with 2 kids, over this amount of time? That personalized content through using that tool, it just is such a different tool to be able to use to get options. So when I think about just the 3 things I want you to probably think about around what is we planning for tomorrow, what are the next technologies that will come through, it's really focused on generative AI. Gen AI tools, as we'll call it. So what I would try and think about is, how are travelers going to be using their tools through their booking path and through their travel journey? Now, these tools aren't just based on the inspiration and the planning. It's going to be with them through the entire travel journey. Even when they're in stay and they're trying to think of what else I can do, that if they are used to the tools, they'll continue to engage with it. It's with them all the time. Similar to we had our mobile phone, whether it take photos or we check in or we use the technology, that tool is with them throughout every stage of the journey. And we'll see enhancements of that where travel virtual agents or buddies will be developed to be able to help with that. The second point is on friction points, still around customer service. So you'll continue to see that customer service and virtual agent will continue to be optimized to do more functionality. Originally, it was just to be able to cancel and get a refund. Now it'll be around amending your bookings, extending it, having different options, and being able to do that all through self-service capabilities where you don't want to have to sit on the phone for too long. But the third one is probably one of the most important, is that we are seeing is generative AI is putting it in the hands of our employees. It's no longer just around improving business efficiencies and effectiveness, but how do we actually empower our employees with better insights, better tools, and allow them to do their role more effectively and more effectively? It's not about replacing them with AI, but it's about giving them power to do their job more effectively. And we'll continue to see how this comes through. You might see that already coming through in sales teams, where they're leveraging market data or business data to provide better recommendations to their partners or travelers to do their job better. And that kind of leads us into the future. When we think about what we're doing today, it's all been about how we use data, how we use insights, now generative AI tools. All of that has a consistent theme. It's always around the person that is consuming the information. We consume a lot of content every day. Podcasts, Spotify music, watching the news, social media, your emails. We are consuming data every single day, compressing it, and allowing us to make decisions on what we do in our daily lives. In the future, it'll be very different. You probably would have seen already last year, Meta glasses, and you have AI tools that are now consuming content for us. So could you imagine a world where you now have your glasses or you might have a pin on your shirt and that is scanning and absorbing everything that you're observing and experiencing today? So that when you go and look for content, it is surfacing everything that you've been experiencing. Very different to how we are doing it today, where it's conversational. You'll be typing it in. We are looking for the content. You're going to be doing that together with content being absorbed. And if you think about it just today within school, I don't know if some of you have your children, but they've already been encouraged to embrace AI tools. Learning how to use ChatGPT or other AI tools within schools, that's going to become part of how they continue to develop and evolve. The same way as if we've seen how mobile phones are essential in our life, has now become an extension of our arms. So we'll see what that looks like from an AI point of view. And the thing is, it's also so untapped. We don't know how fast it's going. It's developing at a rapid rate, and it continues to grow. The only thing that's going to slow it down are humans. We will slow it down. Either we won't be sure how it comes in, or how it fits into travel, or how it fits into the industry, but we will be the ones that will slow it down, otherwise it will continue to move. But there's probably 3 key areas that I wanted to share that where it will play a very key role, where there's this massive potential with how AI will make a big difference. And we heard it yesterday within social, when it comes to personalization. Personalization will continue to grow. You know, if you think about it today, you might have a hotel or a property, and when you go look at that property content, it's the same for everybody. I'm pretty sure we'll see that if I'm a solo traveler, I will see that property, but the guest reviews, the content, the information, the descriptions will be tailored to a solo traveler or a business traveler. But if I'm traveling with a family, the content should look completely different. Amenities should be hired differently. Guest reviews and descriptions will be very different for that traveler, but it's the exact same property. That kind of content will be personalized automatically through their history, how they engage with different tools. So personalization will just take it one step further. The next one about customer service. This isn't about virtual agents or better self-service capabilities. Where I see customer service improving is how we put better tools in the hands of our customer service agents. Today, when a traveler or a customer calls into your customer service agent, we have to ask them a series of questions. What's your travel itinerary? What's your confirmation number? When are you traveling? All this information. In the future, we shouldn't have a point of when a traveler calls in, how do we make sure that our customer service agent has all that information as they answer the phone? How does it pick it up that we have all the information they need, as opposed to have to go through that painful process of trying to find a reservation? Again, removing friction points within your customer service, but through the hands of your employees, not just through self-service capabilities. And the third one is really about anticipating needs. The more that the travel industry adopts AI capabilities and learns it together, and we have that insight, is how do we start to anticipate needs that the traveler actually needs? If we take about, if there's a cyclone or there's a weather disruption or flights are going to be canceled, why do we have to wait for a traveler to call us to have to change their travel plan? Or I need to shift it because I actually can't get there. How do we make sure that we predict and we anticipate what's going to happen so we can make those changes for travelers before they even call us? So I can see we will be able to at least make predictions, analyze trends, and actually provide a much better travel experience, as opposed to going through that painful process when there's a hurricane or a cyclone and there's 15,000 other people trying to call in and you can't change it. But how can it happen automatically? So probably just a couple of things I'll probably just leave you with is, embrace AI-powered personalization. What does that mean for you? Understand the traveler. Think about how the traveler is going to use these tools and how you need to evolve for it. We've all seen that use case when it came to mobile. We all had to adopt our websites to be mobile friendly. How did we engage on a mobile device? Everybody here is on a mobile right now. How are they going to use it in travel? So think about the traveler first and how you can help capture that type of traveler profile. The second thing is, in your business, you don't have to have AI everywhere. It doesn't make sense. But think about the areas that will already improve your traveler experience, improve your business, and focus on that particular area. Don't just do AI for the sake of AI, but solve friction points to improve your business. The third one is, don't forget about your employees. There are a number of AI tools that will allow your team to feel more empowered, will be able to provide a better service, and overall provide a much better travel experience. And I'll probably just leave you with one last point. AI will be a game changer, but even the most advanced tech thrives with the human touch, and especially in an industry that is built around hospitality. What's going to be really critical in the travel industry is the role of humans using AI-powered tools, particularly in an industry with people, travel, and experiences, and we are built on human connections, and our industry will always thrive on that. Thank you.